Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different because I have had a Switch for almost a year now. I got it in November of 2019, a little bit late to the game, but I got it and I've been enjoying it so much through the past year. And about 6 months ago, it started to do a very popular problem that the Nintendo Switch has, not necessarily with the Switch itself, but with the Joy-Con. So I think the best way to show you what the problem is with the Joy-Con specifically is just getting a little bit closer, a little bit different like angle of view than I normally do for my videos, so let's go ahead and switch to that now. Okay, we have the Switch here, and I'm going to show you what the problem is with this, and it's not with the main Switch body itself. Oh, there's my face. It's actually with the Joy-Cons. So, if we take a Joy-Con, this is the one that doesn't have the problem as much. If we look close at it, you might be able to see right there, you see that little switch right there, no pun intended? That, once you push down on that, you can see it goes in and out. And that is what locks these in. So when you slide the Switch in and you hear this, that is that locking in. So it is basically a little piece in there that is curved here, so it's like curved down right here so that when you slide it slides in, and then this right here is like a edge, like square edge right there, so that when you slide it in, it locks in to this piece right here. So when that slides in, that piece lines up with that, locks in, then you can't pull it out unless you press that button, which then pushes the whole thing down. You pull it out. Now the thing with the Switch is that button's in a very small place, so you can't always push that button down all the way to pull it out. So you think you are and it comes out fine, but eventually over time, sometimes though it will wear down, like this one right here. Now this one, you might not be able to tell. We'll tell better once I get it open, but this one has worn down, so where it would normally go up like that and then come here and just have a square edge, it is now gone like that, and then when worn down here when you take it out, so it just goes and dips back down again. So when you put it in, it slides in fine. Same with this one, and there's less of a click on this one, which is not very audible, but you can hear it if you really pay attention. But when you slide these out is when you see the difference. So this one, I'm worried about like them eventually giving out on me. So when you are holding the Switch, say you're playing it, that's great. And when you move this one right here, it's not coming out. Watch, I'm not pressing the button. It's not coming out unless I press the button, then it'll slide right out. But with this one, if you can see, I'll hold it down here, it just comes right out. And I'm worried I'm going to be holding my Switch one day, playing, and then for some reason this one gives out too, and then they both, you know, go out, and then my Switch would fall on the ground, which would not be a good day for me because I've never dropped this thing. I've taken great care of it. I have a screen protector on it, and I fully intend on never dropping this thing, fingers crossed. But this is something that kind of scares me, so this is what I'm set out to fix. I haven't had any troubles with the thumbstick drift because I know a lot of people have that problem, but I have not had that problem personally, and I also have Sword and Shield thumbsticks on because I thought those were cool. I'm actually planning on getting that game soon. I don't even own that game, I just think these are really cool because I wanted some thumbsticks and I thought these went really well with the Switch. But I'm gonna open this one first because there's a very high rate of people that break these when they open it. Now I have opened a lot of electronics and I can take things fully apart and then put them back together and they work perfectly. I've taken a PS4 controller apart many times. When I say many, I mean like 2 or 3 times. And I very rarely break electronics when I open them. So fingers crossed I don't break this one. I have a tutorial on my reference computer right here. So this is kind of just a little tutorial for you guys on how to fix this. So you might be wondering, how are you gonna fix that? Because that piece doesn't really look like you can like put some hot glue on it or super glue on it and you can fix it. And you'd be correct. You have to get a certain kit that gives you the replacement pieces and a special screwdriver that allows you to get into this, because these are not normal screws in here. They are what are called tri-wing screws. So you need a tri-wing screwdriver, which is instead of a Phillips head, which is 4 wings on it, let's say, it has 3 wings, and that's what these take. So you need a special screwdriver, but luckily all over Amazon there are kits for that. So I went ahead and got a kit, and it ran me about $14.99 for everything I would need to fix it and way more. So here's the kit right here. It does not come with this mat. I just thought I'd put it on this mat just because it'd be easy for representation. But what this kit comes with is, first off, this is the Lemo E kit. I don't really, I've never heard of this brand. It's not like a popular brand, it's some Chinese brand, but people seem to love it, and I will have a link in the description. I don't know which way. Link in the description down below. So if you want this kit and you want to try to fix your Joy-Cons if you're having the same trouble, the Amazon affiliate link will be in the description down below, and that will greatly help me out if you use that link. Keep that in mind if you decide you want this. But what this kit comes with is a pair of little tweezers, which for the small components on the inside, that's kind of nice. I don't think I'll necessarily be using that, but I can use that for other things. 2 sets of thumbsticks. So here, we'll use this one, and they just go over very lightly, and they're very small, and they go over your Switch thumbsticks just as a cover, and they raise it slightly, not as much as I prefer, but they do raise it some. This right here, which is a little mini pry tool, which is very useful. You might have seen some teardown YouTubers use this before. Then we have a little pick, which is used for like the little Lego switches and all kinds of stuff inside on the motherboard and stuff like that. On the inside, we'll probably end up using this. Then we have 2 screwdrivers. We have a Phillips head, which is the golden one, and that is signified by the Phillips logo right there, as you can see, or Phillips symbol right there. And then that is just a small Phillips head screwdriver. And then we have the small tri-wing screwdriver, which is symbolized by that tri-wing symbol. It's hard to say that a lot, and I don't know if you can see the difference, but there is a difference between the 2 ends on those. Hopefully you can see, but that is a very big essential for this kit. Then we also have a pair of replacement thumbsticks for the Nintendo Switch, just in case you have stick drift, and those look like this. They're very small, and I think they're actually kind of cool to mess with, but I'd be careful because that is the connector right there. They come in a little plastic package right there, so I'm just going to leave them in that since I will not be replacing my thumbsticks today. And then also, the most important thing out of this kit is these right here. You see those tiny pieces of metal? There's 2. Those are the replacement switches. Now, the ones inside the Joy-Cons are plastic. These are metal. These will not wear down. I don't know why Nintendo didn't just put metal ones in there. Maybe we'll find out once we put this together. But I am going to replace them with metal ones because I feel like it'll be way better and I will never have to replace them again. Also comes with a bunch of tiny little replacement screws for the Joy-Cons, so I'm actually going to put those back in the bag just because of the risk that I might lose them doing all this. So this is important just in case one of them strips. So that is about everything in this kit. I'm just going to be using these and these 2 screwdrivers right here, and probably those maybe. And before I start on this, I do want to address that there are like 2 different popular sets of repair kits on Amazon, at least, which is just ones with all the exact same stuff excluding this. Instead it's like a weird suction cup thing that doesn't make any sense to me, and plastic ones for $4 less than these. So this is $14.99. The other ones are $10.99 than I was looking at, and I highly recommend spending the extra $4 because the tips on these are so small that the plastic doesn't give you a very good grip on the other ones because it doesn't have this like gridded piece to grip onto, where these are so small if you didn't have a good grip on it, it will strip the screwdriver very easily. So it's definitely worth paying the extra money. So I would not try to save that $4 for this because you might end up having a very bad time and kind of losing out on some money. So we have these important pieces right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and start taking this apart and giving good pressure to make sure I don't strip the screw. We're gonna take the screws out, put them here. Alright, so having those screws out, we should be able to start to get this apart a little bit. And there we go, it just came right off. Now it is connected by 2 little like ribbon cables right here. A little bit of a close-up there. You can see the small tiny battery in the Switch Joy-Con and these 2 ribbon cables, which we are going to, I don't believe we're gonna have to separate them, but we might. So I want to be very careful because this battery still has plenty of power. It's like fully charged, and I do not want to get zapped by any little power surge in here, so I'm going to be very careful. And it looks like we have normal Phillips head screws right here, so I'm going to take those out, and we have to take these out. Wow, those are some tiny screws. We have to take that one out, I guess, to get to our component that we're looking for, and that is the piece right here, this tiny little thing that I can't even find when I'm looking through my viewfinder. This tiny piece that will go in and out like that. You might be able to see that moving. Super tiny piece. But that is the piece that we are going to be taking out and replacing. Now it looks like it's in there a little bit more. There's one more screw to take that out. And that is that tiny screw. And then there might be a little spring in here. So I'm going to use this tool just to gently try to take it out. So one thing that is giving me a little bit of trouble is this piece right here, which is very slowly coming out. And apparently you just need to ease it off like I am, but that's kind of a little hiccup point for me that I'm having a little bit of trouble with. Now that piece came out. This side has not come out yet. There you go. And you want to hold this because this can fly, and there's a little spring that you need to keep in there. So we're going to ease that out, and I know my fingers are probably covering most of this, but if we lose this spring right here, it's game over. So you want to definitely make sure you have this spring and know exactly where it is at all times. Now this is the piece that has worn down right here. Now if we take a look, it's very tiny. I'm gonna have to zoom in on my video. These are the two pieces. You can see this one is plastic, this one is metal obviously, but this piece right here has worn down where it's not a perfect square here anymore. It's very, very hard to see, but it is definitely worn down visibly, when this piece right here is just a metal piece that will never wear down. It's a exact edge, when this one has just, over time, it had no chance, to be honest. So we're going to put that to the side. We're going to put the new screw, or new spring in it right here, and then we are going to slide this back on. Alright, we have the metal piece in now. We're going to slide this piece back into where it went, and it actually got a little bit warped out, so we're going to warp it in and then put it back in here. There we go. And that's actually the hardest part, is getting that piece back in. But once it's back in, then we can screw the screw that holds it back in. Okay. And then now we can just kind of start to repair it pretty fast. We're just going to place this piece back in like that, and then screw it back in, which might be a little bit in trouble, but luckily these have magnets on it, so I can just put the screw in like that and then screw it back in. Very tiny screw, so you have to be very careful here. And that screw is in, holding it in. Then it's actually a little bit... And my recording stopped. So my camera recently has been doing some pretty weird things, and today it decided that it would just stop recording even though it said it still was recording. I don't know if part of the file corrupted or what, but something happened, and I wanted to explain why there was a weird cut in the video. Camera's starting to do some weird things on me. I guess it's because it's a little bit older. I don't know, I've taken great care of it, but I just wanted to explain what happened there. I did just put the Joy-Con back together, and it was basically just in reverse of me taking it apart. Nothing was, weird on it, just went back together perfectly. So you didn't miss too much there, but that was just kind of weird. So back to the video. Alright, so we have fixed this with the metal piece in it. And if you look in there, you can see, instead of the black void on this one, you can see a little shiny metal piece, and that is the fixed piece. And if we look, it's probably pretty hard to see, but it does go up and down when you press that button down. It's a little bit harder to push down, but not anything that's going to hinder your ability to use this at all. So if we put this back on, turn on our switch, make sure the switch works still, and yeah, you can see using it, it's working still. And if we go here, yeah, I'd definitely say it's working still. If we go down here, you can see it even better. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that is working. Now the biggest thing is, how does it slide in? This one, of course, goes in like that. This one, okay, still gives a pretty good snap, and yeah, that's not coming out. That is very solid, and when you slide that in, goes in really fine. And if we turn the volume up, see? It works perfectly fine, so I'm very happy with that. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and do this one, make sure everything works completely fine, and I am very happy with how this is going. Alright, time to fix this one. quick tip I wanted to give is when you're putting this back together, and that piece right there is where these two pieces slide together. It's the screw and the locking piece that we're replacing. So when you put this back in, it can be kind of tricky to get it all in without the spring trying to go somewhere. So what I recommend doing is getting it to this spot right here, and then taking this tool that's included in this kit and just sliding it into place, and that makes it a whole lot easier and can save you a lot of frustration. And also, that is a very fragile piece because you do not want to lose that spring. If you do, well, good luck trying to get this back together perfectly, because that screw makes sure that it pops back out and locks into your switch. So we're just going to slide this piece back on and assemble it. Okay, so we have this. So we have both now fixed. You can see both those little metal pieces in there, and I love the neon green, the neon orange on this Joy-Con. It looks like it's a little bit dirty there, so I might open this thing back up and clean it up a little bit. But when we slide this in, there we go, locked in. There's no way that's coming out, and there we go. It is fixed. I just don't know what Nintendo was doing when they put plastic on metal that was constantly going to have friction. That's kind of ridiculous. And if we look at the broken pieces, I might just have to put an image because it is very hard to see, but one is very worn down, one is not. You can see this one is the worn down one, this one's the one from the orange one that wasn't all worn down, and you can see how that little piece on the edge is worn down white from the wear on it, and the stress on the plastic, that's just the white stress from the plastic actually. And you can easily see what happened there, and how that thin bar, because it didn't destroy the whole piece, it didn't destroy the whole ledge, it just grooved out on the center of it because the bar right there is really thin, and that makes total sense that that happened. So if a 15-year-old like me can do it, you can definitely do it. So I highly recommend trying this out if you're having this problem. And thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this one, I have all kinds of other videos, maybe not as helpful as this one, on my channel. And you can go check those videos out by going under the like button, hitting the JWA Studios circle, whatever you want to call that, my logo. It'll bring you to my channel. There's all kinds of other videos. Can't guarantee you they will be any better than this one, but they're very interesting. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you found this helpful and enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.